Welcome. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. We're still in the Ghana month, hence my shirt. And I'm absolutely having a ball in this shirt. But we're not here to talk about my shirt. Over the next 90 minutes, we've got the best sports in action to play back for you here on the show, starting here in the Ghana Premier League, where Hearts of Oak's troubles continue. They were beating in Doma. Kumasi Asante Kotoko, 7th heaven. They put 5 past PP and the Gold Stars. So there's all of that to play back for you here on the show. Also, there is CAF Champions League action. Mamelodi Sundowns against Al Ahly. It wasn't a very good homecoming for Pitso Mosimane and his men. They lost in that particular game. We'll show you what the group standings look like after match day 4. Some teams already booked their places in the round of 16. Also, to England in the Premier League, Chelsea put their troubles behind them and still managed somehow to get a victory against Newcastle. But all the headlines belong to a certain Cristiano Ronaldo. Scored a hat-trick as Man United put aside Tottenham Hotspur. We'll go to Italy. AC Milan have opened a 3-point lead at the top of the Serie A. Inter Milan currently struggling. At Barcelona, the resurgence continued. And also in Germany, Borussia Dortmund have closed the gap to Bayern Munich. But when I tell you what the difference still is, you will think it's insignificant. There's a lot to come in the next 19 minutes, but we'll take a short break. When we come back, I'll tell you how you can get in touch with the show. I'll introduce my guests, and then we can start showing you some highlights. Welcome back. This is Scorecard. Show is live and interactive on social media. Leave your thoughts on all of the topics you want to talk about, whatever football action, whatever tennis action, basketball action, whatever it is over the weekend that you feel like sharing with the rest of the world. Make sure to leave me a message on Twitter. Use the hashtag Scorecard. Retweet as many of them as possible, and also try to share as many of them as possible with the rest of our viewers from all across the continent. From Senegal, where my good friend Asha Kumkisha is tuned in, to Angola, where Daniel Cranting has a second wife, to Zambia, to Gambia, to Senegal, and back to Gambia, Sierra Leone, wherever it is you've tuned in. And our brothers from Nigeria, of course. You can send me a WhatsApp message to use the WhatsApp number on the screen, +233 550 585832. All right, my two musketeers are here with me tonight to help me put perspective on all of the best sporting action from the weekend. Coach Christopher Nimley and Daniel Cranting are here. Coach, how are you?
I'm happy for 3 reasons. Reasons
relax.
What is your problem?
I didn't ask if you were happy or not. I said, how are you?
I'm fine, and I'm happy for 3 reasons.
Reason number 1.
Reason number 1. To those who are tuning to from Switzerland, there's somebody tuning to this program. And you say, well, he said, well, from Zambia, where your second wife is. From Swiss, where, of course, Madame is.
Who?
Your Madame.
Your Madame.
My wife, she's at home. At Achi. So, Madame is watching. Madame.
It's just not. You have to behave.
No. So she's watching, and I spoke to her at long last. Every Sunday, the call eventually went, so I'm happy. And then I'm happy for the next 2 reasons. Look, to my beautiful mother, Mrs. Evelyn Hammond. She's a sweet mom. Mom, I know you are watching.
Today her birthday?
Today is not her birthday. She's my mother, apart from my biological mother. She's next in line.
So you're giving Sarah at the start of the show?
She's watching me. So Mrs. Evelyn Hammond, greetings to you, Mom.
That's
and
it.
Mrs.
You just want to greet
Joanna Hammond. She's also watching. She's my wife.
Your wife's what?
My wife. You know my wife is Mrs. Susan Obribia Nimley. Apart from my wife, there's another wife, Mrs. Joanna Hammond. They are watching the show. I'm so happy they are watching me today. Well, do you have any problem?
Of course I have a problem.
What's your problem?
The show hasn't even started. It's not the end of the show. You've given like 5 stars.
When you started the show, you were mentioning names from Zimbabwe, Mozambique. Nobody complained.
So it's
You
payback
should be
time.
happy. I've not even mentioned the name from Swiss. I just said somebody is watching all the way from Switzerland.
People are watching from France, from Paris, from Kubasi, Takrady, Obuasi, Tamale, Tumu.
So I'm happy they are all watching.
Thank you. Cranston, how are you?
Soon.
I knew that was coming.
Today I'll do that at the end of the show.
Thank you.
You do what?
You see the Ronaldo knee sliding.
You do
Today I
the
will
knee
slide
slide.
on this carpet, man.
Oh, God. Let's begin with some Ghana Premier League action. Breaking Chelsea, they took on Karela United. It was a very tight game. In the end, it secured a 1-0 win.
Breakum Chelsea will still continue from where they left off. It's another opportunity coming their way. Sapo fires it this time, and he's dead on target with the first goal of the afternoon.
Brilliant finish from the substitute. I mean, he knew all what he wanted to do from that pass. Here, he had all the time to take that shot, and first shot on target.
All right, so they got that 1-0 win. Same thing Adriana Stars did. They hosted Hearts of Oak. Hearts of Oak just don't seem to know how to win games in Doma. It was a 1-0 defeat for the champions.
Yes, Prince Aqua. Lovely pass laid through by the youngster. A chance for Adriana Stars. That is the goal!
Amazing.
Sam Adams.
And we look at the replay here, Prince. Just when he got the ball, he had already measured the post. He's not looking at the goalkeeper, but just look at where he blasted the ball. Down the corner, and Richmond Ayi beating.
Referee Salom Yao Bless brings the first half to an end. Accra Hearts of Oak had to end the half, substituting Richard Atta, and 0-2 against the Porcupine Warriors. Here's an opportunity. What a drive! Are you completely beaten from that thunderbolt?
It was a giveaway from Fatau. Lost the ball completely and passed to with a series, but look at that venom.
Adam. Enterprising shot on target. Oh my word!
He went for power through the laces, and yeah, look at that dummy, brilliantly done. And Alex Buachi.
Yaya Mohammed drives. Ayi makes a save.
Super hit again. He really put lenses through this one. Bullet got it in between the wall. Super stop there from Ayi.
All right, so another very narrow victory for Adriana Stars over Accra Hearts of Oak. Hearts of Oak can't keep, they can't seem to put a consistent run together at all. We'll try and show you the Kotoko game a little later. Still waiting for those highlights to come through, but when it does, we will show it to you. But before then, here's a look at the full result sheet from match week 20 of the Ghana Premier League, match week 19. Ashanti Gold, actually it's match week 20, so that title at the top should change. Ashanti Gold, they won 2-0 against King Faisal. Breakum Chelsea, they beat Karela 1-0. You saw the highlights of that game as well. Accra Lions, they won 1-0 against Dreams FC. Wafa also beat RTU by 1-0. So RTU fans, after the demonstration, they have not been able to get a consistent run together. Mediama Sporting Club also 1-0 winners over 11 Wonders. Great Olympics, Lagos City share the spoils. Elmina Sharks and Bichim United, cracking game, 5-goal thriller. Bichim urged it 3-2. Adriana Stars, they beat Hearts of Oak by 1-0. Bob, you really need to pay attention. Asante Kotoko, they won by 5-0. In Fege, who usually doesn't get to play a lot, he scored a brace, and Mbele also came off the bench to score a goal there in that 5-0 victory. Here's the table. After 20 games, Kotoko still top, 44 points. And you see Aduana Stars second, Great Olympics in third, and Bechem United occupying the final spot in that top 4 race. The bottom, Wafa, 11 Wonders, and Elmina Sharks. But take a look at RTU. You see why their fans are very unhappy. After returning to the Premier League for the first time in 11 years, they now find themselves being dragged into the relegation battle. They're level on points with Wafa, who just beat them. And by next week, if they don't win, they could be in the bottom 3. So things not looking good at the moment as far as they are concerned. Coach, I know where you want to start from. Accra has the most consistency, highly questionable. Today they're good, tomorrow they're not. It's almost as if that's what it's going to be for the rest of the season. This is what it's been for the whole season, and this is being a very poor title defense.
Look, it is what it is. That is why I said it's been like that. And it's like the technical team, the playing body, they've come to accept that. Because if you're a defending champion, you cannot put some run together. Then there are serious issues. And look, if you go back to the goal again that they conceded, how many times have we not sat here to complain about
the same type of goals?
And that is unacceptable. For them, it's like one pass completely takes every covering defender out of the picture.
True.
And the player always get the chance to run straight to go and face the goalkeeper. Aduana should have won this game by at least 3-0. They created all the decent chances.
They did.
And the manner in which they were that comfortable, just splitting the Hasselhoff defenders back 4, midfield 2. Look, I think Samobwedu, like I've sat here before and I've said, he had a chemistry working for him, especially in midfield. That chemistry was brought to an end because of the exodus of Mananete and Nefutu. I would have thought, I have said it, that if I was the one in charge, Nete and Nefutu played alongside this boy, the other midfielder. No. Ansambotre.
Okay.
Where is Ansambotre?
Ansa is basically now relegated to the bench. He's not started a match.
Practically, that is why the team is struggling in midfield. Because I think that for someone who was part of a winning 3 in the middle of the pack, if the other 2 are gone, why is he not the base of the new foundation?
But isn't it the same issue you talked about? Because we saw a midfield combination of Montari, Salim, and Abdulaziz totally dominate Kotoko.
They were.
In one match.
They were.
Then the next game.
That is why there's an issue, because these guys will not give you the consistency that you require. So get at least the one person who's been an integral part of whatever you've achieved in midfield or whatever you achieved last season in midfield. Let him be the untouchable there and let the others play off him. So every time around, I believe Ansamboche should be in the team. And I believe that once he's in the team, he will guide Salim and the rest as to how Samuel Boadu wants his midfield throw to thrive.
Okay.
We've not seen that all season. And the team has been so inconsistent. And they've conceded the same type of goals. When Emmanuel Nete and the Futu and Ansamboche play in that midfield, one pass never cut open the Hasselhoff. I never saw anything of the sort last season. Not of this nature. And to me, it is not acceptable. It's so poor a title defense. Look, if you have not won the league for close to 10, 11 years, and you get to win it, you don't hand it over in this manner. And I think it's been cheaply handed over to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Don't take anything away from them, though. They've done what they had to do, because they did say that if they had played most of their games in Kumasi last season, they don't think Hasselhoff would have won there, because they had a comfortable lead before Haas came from behind and then turned everything around and won the league. Let me point out something on Accra Great Olympics. Look, we've not taken notice of them, isn't it?
Yeah, they've built a very consistent run together.
Yes, but as it stands, they are third on the law.
They have been there for a while.
For
and
a while
the coach
now.
said they intend to stay there.
And I've overheard Anna Walker says, Kotoko may win the league, but he can assure them one thing. He will beat them when they come to Accra. He's on record to have said so emphatically. He said that all things being equal, we will see a different Accra Great Olympics the second. Yeah. So for me, I was massively disappointed when they couldn't wrap up the 3 points against Legon City. I thought that they played so well in the very early stages of that game. They should have taken about 2-3-0 lead very early. In the first 20 to 30 minutes, they should have gone up by 3-0. But it's very typical of football. The longer it stays at 1-0, the opponent trailing has got every belief that they can come in there and make a point. And that was exactly what happened. But again, wow, the quality of our pitches.
Yeah. I mean, it's becoming boring, isn't it?
Look, it is not bringing the best out of our players.
It isn't.
It is not improving our game.
At all.
It is making our game look so bad.
Yeah.
And for me, I pity these boys. Because if we can provide them with a better playing surface, that will improve their game tremendously.
The only quality pitch is Bayara, and when you watch the football from there, it's
so
much
sweet.
better. And there's better goals there coming as well. Yeah. Daniel, I mean, there's a lot we can say about Kumasi Asante Kotoko, their performance. The Cameroonian players, one in Fega who hasn't played a lot this season, he's coming, he scored a brace, brilliant. Mbella came on, scored a penalty, so he's increased his tally as well. Those two Cameroonians have brought something entirely different to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. As I said, we'll try and get you those highlights as soon as they come true. But, Daniel, I just want you to touch on RTU and their struggles. The last week, the stories coming out of Tamale haven't been nice. The fans stormed the team's training ground, seized everything, including babes, footballs. It's not changed the result, has it?
It's not. It's a disgraceful attitude. Honestly, we shouldn't be having these sort of things at this stage of our football. If your team is not winning, yes, everybody gets frustrated when their team is not winning, but you have no right to storm the training ground and seize things and refuse to allow the team to train. It's really unfair on the players, on the technical team, on everybody who runs the club. And the fans, there are better ways to voice out your anger and your frustration than doing that. But more drop points again this weekend, then it doesn't really look good for them. If you look at apart from Elmina Sharks, who look like they've given up in the league, the relegation, yes, you might look like they are close to it. But you see, the interesting thing about this league is that you are just about 2 wins away from just propelling yourself totally out of that situation. And the fact is, they can do it. We've seen their early form in this season.
And isn't that the issue? And people may not want to point it out and maybe downplay it, but I honestly think that Sandan going to the AFCON, coming back injured,
look, it affected them.
It's not helped them at all.
Your best player...
But he didn't even play at the AFCON.
Yeah, your best player starts the season very well. Then
he was top scorer.
Yeah, then he leaves. And then, unfortunately for him, he couldn't play at the AFCON because of the injury.
And we don't stop the league, we continue.
The league. And they have to live with life without him. And then he comes back. Look, it will by all means cause all sorts of instability at the club. But I don't feel that it is enough to say that because of him. Look, if you are you have to plan for every possibility. You cannot enter a league season and your entire plan is around one player.
Because to be fair, they would have been happy that their player got chosen.
Yeah, they would have been happy. In fact, the Olympics were happy that Masola Bikui was there. They didn't really care if he didn't play, but he was part of the 28 that went to the AFCON. It shows that at least the club is doing something right. I feel like, look, and if you look at the manner in which they are dropping points, it's just been inconsistency in styles, in their approach, in terms of experience. It's a mixture of things. But as I'm saying, look, it's really not over. We are just 20 games into the season. There's a lot of time, especially for them to use their strong home form. Nobody likes to go to Tamale to play. They can, look, 2 wins are just 2 wins on the bounce, and they could be completely out of the relegation zone. So I don't think it's fair for them to go at the players and the technical team like that. That's what I said. Everybody gets frustrated. But if that's how everybody was behaving in the league, how are we going to move forward? If we're all angry and we say Asante fans say because they are not, we are going to seize the babes and seize the balls and we will not allow them to train. How are we going to live? That's not the standard we want to be setting. That's not the precedence we want to be setting. So these sorts of attitudes must change. It's really not the best.
Okay. So the fans have asked you being urged to be a little patient. Be a little patient with the team that has also come around. I've just also been going through the scores now, and I just have to say Great Olympics actually won by a goal to nil. Lagos City never got that goal back.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Again.
Yeah.
Bob.
Bob. Anyway, let's move it on to the CAF Champions League. And then bring you one game from there. Mamelodi Sundowns, they welcome Pitso Mosimane and his defending champions Al Ali to South Africa. They won that game by a goal to nil. All right, so that victory booked them a place in the last 8, the quarterfinals. Let me take you to the groups of this particular Champions League games. The results fair, so that's what you're looking at there. That's round 4 results. Zamalek also losing at home. And you see Al Hilal of Sudan getting a victory there as well. Sundowns beating Al Ali. Horoya, 2-1 winners over Raja. ES Setif, 2-0 over Amazulu. ES Tunis, they beat Sfaxien, 2-0 away from home. And Atletico, or Petroleos, if you like, or Petro Atletico, they won 3-0 against Esperanca, another Angolan team. And that victory booked Petro Atletico a place in the quarterfinals of the competition. Let me just show you confirmation of who has done what from the group stages. In Group A, Sundowns have booked a place in the quarterfinals. In the quarterfinals, they've Al Ali, of course, with 4 points, still with a chance. Al Hilal and Al Merrek. So defending champions at this moment, Daniel, they are struggling, aren't they?
Yeah, they're struggling. But Sundowns are not yet through. If they lose their last 2 games, remember, see, the 3 teams behind them have 4 points. If those
they are true, on head-to-head.
No, they are not part yet. Just 2 teams have qualified. Just Zamalek and Wydad have qualified. So,
but you see, from the form of Sundowns, I'll be massively surprised if they don't make the next stage of the competition. Because I think, look, this is a tough group.
It is.
But for them to have dominated the group the way they've done,
especially the home and away against that's very
They've taken maximum 6 points of Al Ali. And for me, that is huge. That is massive. That, in my view, I think sums up the quality of the South African League, because their teams are doing tremendously well, and they've kept that standard in the competition alive. So look, there's everything to play for. Al Ali, El Hilal, and what's the last team? Al Merrek from Sudan. Al Merrek from Sudan. I think
also 4 points.
There's a lot to play for, and everybody will have to keep a keen interest in this particular group.
Let's go to Group B, see what's happening there. Raja, 9 points. Setif, 6. Amazulu, 6. Horoya of Guinea, 3 points. Incredibly tight as well.
This is another very, very close group. I think for this group, any of the teams can still qualify. And the second place and third place team, again, there's a South African team in there, and they are back. Look, I'm tired to seeing the North Africans dominate the club competitions in Africa. So I'm seriously hoping that the teams from the south and from the west will have a strong claim as to who wins the title this time around. But all things being said, you need to do something extraordinary to overthrow these North Africans when it comes to who wins the CAF Champions League. But this is a very, very tight group. Very, very tight.
Group C as well. There you go. All right, so Esperance are top with 8 points.
Wow.
Belouizdad have 8 points as well. And it looks like the battle is between those 2 teams. But the point is, the top 2 will qualify. This looks very decided, in my opinion.
Already decided, in my view, because again, how many are they in this competition? The North Africans. Every group they seem to be.
In fact, 3 in this group. 2 Tunisian teams, 1 Algerian team.
Look, we have a long way to go, Fenton. We have a long way to go to begin to dethrone these guys from these
Galaxy, just a solitary point from their
where?
4 games so far.
Wow, so there's a team from Botswana.
There is.
In the Champions League.
Team from there, Group D is this.
This is where it's
Petro Atletico and with that.
This is also decided.
Yeah,
Zamalek.
So Zamalek didn't make it.
They lost at home against Wydad on Friday. Ooh. That's what cemented it. They drew. No, they lost last week 3-1 away at Wydad. Then they lost at home against Wydad. Remember, they've had just 1 point at home. The opening game they played against Petro Atletico ended 2-2 at home. So they've not taken advantage of their home form.
In fact, they've had issues with their coaching and their management style and all
always
that.
do.
They, come on, I think about 2-3 weeks ago, about a month ago, we heard there were issues with the coach threatening that he will resign and pack and go. Yeah. Eventually, he had to leave because all the promises that were made to him were not fulfilled when he had to leave. I think his very good job somewhere in the Gulf region to come and help Zamalek perform, but they just couldn't meet up to any promises they made to him, so he left. So they are more or less a team that is not being properly managed. And for me, this is one of the traditional teams on the continent of Africa. They've got some decent record when it comes to the African Champions League. For them to be struggling in a group of Petro Atletico from Angola,
are a very strong team.
Wydad from Morocco, and then another Angolan team.
Well, they are strong, but you see, you expect Zamalek with their caliber to at least
be in the first 2.
They can't be out just 4 games into the group. It
says a lot. Exactly. Even if it was...
it should go down to the wire. I think the last game, then they get booted out. But
because this is like
4 games,
giving up even before the end.
Yeah.
It's basically not good enough. The maximum points they can get now is 8. And that would even be enough to overthrow without Casablanca for second place. All right, that's as far as that one is concerned. The CAF Champions League. So that's what I said. The quarterfinals. So it's with that who are true, as well as Petro Atletico. So Sundowns, yes, almost there, but not quite there as yet. So this is what it is as far as the CAF Champions League is concerned. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll take you into the realms of the Premier League and bring you some incredible action from there. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. I've also got your messages after this. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Let's go to England. Brighton and Hove Albion hosted Liverpool. The rest won by 2-0. All right, so Liverpool closed the gap to Man City to just 3 points with this particular victory. Daniel, a pretty routine win for them. It wasn't pretty, but they got the job done, and that's what Liverpool have been very good at. Yeah,
it's very important. 10 games to the end of the season. You don't go onto the pitch trying to be flashy and exciting and winning by 5-6 goals to nil. No, you go onto the pitch with one thing in mind: it's to get the 3 points. And for Liverpool, you could tell that was their mindset from the off. They were trying to get that early goal, and they managed to get it in the first half. Luis Diaz, very brave header, and you just have to commend the Liverpool scouting team anytime you see him don the jersey and play for Liverpool. He just fits so smoothly into this system. It's almost impossible to believe. It's just brilliant. He looks like he's been playing with Salah and Mane and the guys behind them for years. And it's nice to see that people do their homework. They sit down, they plan, they look at players who can fit in the system. They bring them in there, and then they give them a chance also to excel. And that's what Liverpool have done with him. And it's just brilliant to see. And that second goal needed to come, and it needed to come fast, because for Liverpool, they will recall last season they took the lead against Brighton and thought they had closed things out. In the last minute, they considered a penalty, ended up 1-1, which was a huge shot in their title challenge at that time. Yeah. So they knew they needed to get the second goal. And they would have, you could tell they were growing a bit frustrated with the chances they were missing. Salah had 2 good opportunities. He missed them. And then they get that lucky break with the penalty. Bissouma would be disappointed. In the area of VAR, you cannot have your hands high up in the air like that. And right decision from the referee. Salah dispatched it. And from there, it was job done. Liverpool should have got another one. I think late in the game, Luis Diaz had a chance where I thought he should have squared it to Jota a bit more quickly. He decided to take one touch too much and the goalkeeper closed him down and saved it. But all in all, Liverpool had a job at hand, closed the gap on Man City. You never know what is going to happen at Crystal Palace on Monday night. Palace themselves look like they have already they've beaten Man City this season already at the Etihad. They know how to get the result against Man City. So for Liverpool, going to Brighton to get the 3 points was very important. And Klopp will be happy with the display and the points in the back. Clean sheet also.
Yeah, and namely, obviously from a Liverpool point of view, they'll be very happy with the 3 points. And now the pressure is back on Man City.
Exactly. That is what they have to continue to do.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they are the one chasing Man City. Man City have a 3-point lead over them, and they have to take it game at a time, one game at a time. And as at when the game presents itself, make sure you get the 3 maximum. It is not about how the points will be gotten. No. At the end of the
just get it.
Minute, just get it. And
which is better, being chased or chasing? Because in
I'll
Liverpool,
prefer being chased.
I agree.
I'll prefer being chased because at the end of the day, the other person is doing catch up.
If you drop points, they can only catch up.
Apart, then we go and see who has the final.
But if you're chasing, you can't afford
you can't afford to lose games because as it stands now, Liverpool cannot afford to drop point.
Yeah,
they cannot.
City can't drop points and still go on to win the league.
Exactly. As it stands, it's a 3-point gap. Man City will play tomorrow. If they win against Crystal Palace, it goes back to 6. Liverpool now plays Arsenal on Wednesday in their only outstanding game. If they were to win, then that 3 points is there. So Liverpool cannot afford, and even Man City can afford to lose to Liverpool at the Etihad, and that will bring them apart.
Yeah.
And then
even though Liverpool have a better goal difference.
Yes, and then we'll see how it ends. But for me, Liverpool, they are just doing what they have to do.
Yeah. All right. So that's the bottom line there. The Reds just keep on matching. Let's go to Old Trafford. Bring you one of the very best classic performances from Cristiano Ronaldo. He inspired Manchester United to a 3-2 victory over Tottenham Hotspur, and he had to do it the Cristiano Ronaldo way. 59 career hat-tricks for Cristiano Ronaldo. Is this guy even human? Absolutely incredible. Coach, let me begin with you. A wonderful showing from Cristiano Ronaldo. Reminded everybody just why Man United did everything to bring him back.
You see, football will cry. Have you seen football crying before? Football will cry the day he hangs his boot. For me, the people at United did not treat him fairly at all. Once they saw the need to bring him back to Old Trafford, the moment he agreed that, yes, I'm coming back, if I was the coach, if I was Ole and Woodward, I would have called every player together and I said, look, do you know what? This is a legend of this club. He will be here for the next 2 years. If anything at all, for the fact that he's accepted to be back to Manchester United, he will captain this team for the next 2 years. Because what is the legendary status of Maguire for him to be captaining our team when Ronaldo is there? No, you see, and the reason why I say so because this guy is a born winner. Look, at 37...
Maguire is a born winner.
Don't say that now. Let me make my point. This guy, he's 37 years old. And even at this age, he hates to lose football games. At his age, you would not expect him to be running all over the place. He's gone past those days. At his age, all he seeks, all he asks is for his teammates to create the opportunity for him, and he puts them in the back of the net. Simple. Look at the first goal. All he needed to see was the goal. That first goal reminded me of that cracker of a goal in 2008. Is it Porto? Against Porto? Yeah. It reminded me, and I said, "Wow, this guy, he never gets old, isn't it? Look at the header. But for Cristiano Ronaldo, Harry Maguire would have been skinned. Granting.
Skinned?
I'm telling
Alive?
you. Alive.
Like a goat?
Look at what he did. Maguire, you could see the relief in his face when Ronaldo headed the ball into the back of the net.
Because he could have denied United 3 points.
You know what? It was a must-win game. If United had dropped point yesterday, top 4 dream is completely shattered. Now, if you go back to the football, you see, I've already spoken about the fact that United have not treated Rangnick well because Matic showed yesterday how important a proper DM is to this team.
Yeah.
When you have McFred combo together, the two of them, none of them naturally is a DM. So you have them always going this way together. So one pass takes the two of them out of the game. We are saying Fred had a wonderful game yesterday because he had a proper DM to play along with. So instead of this way, the McFred combo, it was like this way, the Matic-Fred combo. So Fred...
So Matic freed Fred.
He freed him. He just stood there and said, look, when you get the ball, go play with Pogba, go play with Ronaldo, go play with Jadon Sancho. Go play. When the ball is lost, Fred has got that energy about him. He can recover. But because Matic cleverly demarcated his area and knew where he shouldn't go past and never went past those places, he just kept the shape of the team intact. And to me,
the best season N'Golo Kante has ever had was when he played alongside Matic.
And look, and
that 2017 season.
For me, the people at United have just not treated Rangnick fairly at all.
Why do you say that?
I say so because there was a humble request from this man that the only proper DM in this team can last for 60-65 minutes maximum. He's not in the position to play game after game. So go get me a proper DM. And you know what?
In January.
Amazingly, there were 2 DMs in the market. The one who left to Juve.
Left from where to Juve?
Oh, the Swiss boy. What is that? Is it the Kamara or so? Kamara is the Marcel boy.
Yeah.
His contract will be Zakaria. For just 5 million. Don't come in. Like Chelsea is being don't come in today as we speak. You understand, Granty? Like Chelsea is being don't come in. Zakaria was being don't come in. United and Rangnick told them, get me either Zakaria or Kamara. One of them. So that we just play. And these guys were there very, very cheap. They didn't. And look at how this team is struggling. Because if you bring a proper DM, it will release Pogba, it will release Bruno, it will release Cristiano Ronaldo. Look, if United really do want to create chances upon chances for Ronaldo, one thing that is clear, Pogba needs to be playing closer to him. Look at Jadon Sancho. When he picks the ball, there's every sign.
I'm glad you mentioned the Pogba angle because Daniel and I spoke about it today on radio.
Yes.
He completely disagrees. He doesn't think Pogba is great when he's playing closer to Ronaldo or closer to goal.
I'm not saying
he wants to be deep. He said he's better when he's deeper.
No, yes, I said that yesterday.
So what do you mean by
what I mean was
DMs?
that
so he
put
plays
a proper DM before him. When he picks the ball from afar and he can see the pitch, he can fill in the gap.
You mean the DM or Pogba?
The Pogba will and
but
the DM will just
the DM will say Pogba will be where?
And he will carry the ball along. That's one of his greatest assets, isn't it?
So you want a sitting DM and Pogba and Fred alongside each other?
No, of course. So, if you get a proper sitting DM, Pogba and Bruno.
So Fred goes up.
He goes to the bench.
I see.
Because these two guys are more consistent. They will guarantee you consistent performance at the highest level than Fred will. You understand what I'm saying? So if Pogba and Bruno, and you have a proper DM, can you imagine?
I honestly think Pogba, Bruno, and a DM might be a little light against certain oppositions.
No.
I don't think those other two are.
Imagine
good backless.
Imagine Matic, 27 years old today.
Daniel,
United will dominate every opponent in this league with Pogba, Bruno, and Matic.
Is that something you see happening? Or is that the best possible United midfield you can think of? Have a proper DM and then place Pogba
right now
and Bruno alongside each other.
Before he comes
midfield.
in, right now, there's not going to be, because there's no possibility of bringing a proper DM.
There isn't.
The window
but
is gone.
You've diagnosed the team and you proposed a solution. I just don't think the solution would work.
No, what I said was that was the solution that the Rangnick presented to
That's
the board.
what he wanted.
That's what he wanted.
I see.
And I agree with that.
Daniel, your thoughts on this game? And I know a lot has been said about Cristiano Ronaldo, and you said the same thing. It's normal. This is Ronaldo. He steps up when it's necessary. But let's look at the other elements in the team's performance.
For Cristiano Ronaldo, I was not surprised at all, and I'm not saying that I really was not surprised. Once I saw his name on this,
that's what he does.
The starting lineup, I knew something special was going to happen, because he's Ronaldo and he's done this over and over and over again. I'm almost getting tired. But look, yes, coach spoke about Matic's influence, but you have to give credit to Fred. You have to.
Yes,
yes, he was freed, but look, yesterday was just. It was almost unreal. And I said this on radio. He was wearing a red shirt, but anytime he touched the ball, I literally saw him in orange in that Shakhtar jersey. This was Fred at his peak. Fred, this was a 52 million Fred that Manchester United went to buy. This is the Fred that Manchester City were chasing.
Yeah.
So confident on the ball, so composed in everything that he did. He never rushed the pass. He was quick to intercept when he had to. He knew when to hold on to the ball. He knew when to release it. He knew. Look, yesterday was just absolutely brilliant. And you just hope that the measures that were put in place to get the best out of him are maintained, so we can get the best out of him. Because you see, players complement each other. If you can't expect a consistent performance from somebody when you keep on chopping and changing who he plays with. And quality recognizes quality. And I, as coach said, the reason Matic's performance was also largely influential in what Fred did yesterday. Another thing that, look, it might be unpopular, and people might not like him, but you see, I'm not the sort of person who, it's not about emotion. Maguire was very good yesterday. Look, yesterday, when you look, coach, let me finish. Can I make my point?
Flat-footed. Look at his foot, like pitching boat. The size of his boot is almost a size 50. He can't run. Look at the size of his boot.
Okay.
He saw
what's wrong with his boot?
When he puts the left hand, you measure from here to here. So lifting the left to even kick the ball is a problem. Maguire, 80 million. This one. Look.
See your shoe.
Yes, look at my shoe. This is 42, 43. Maguire is 50. How can you lift it?
No, Daniel, please finish from me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can somebody wear size 50?
How can we get Maguire's size of boot on the pitch, on the screen? No more.
You were talking about the fact that Maguire was actually
Why,
good.
you did smart and then you are crying. Why? What is that?
What you said is
Maguire was actually good yesterday.
Look, let me make my point. Look, on the team sheet, we've seen Harry Kane throughout this season. We've seen how important he is to what Tottenham Hotspur do. We saw him tear apart Manchester City. His ability to drop deep, link up play, his goal scoring ability, find spaces in behind the opposition defenders. But yesterday, look, if you didn't see, and we all didn't see Harry Kane, except the penalty, it was largely due to Harry Maguire. He stuck with him every step of the way. When he dropped deep, and you see, that is a very difficult thing that most managers don't like their defenders doing. Because when Harry Kane drops deep, they want the opposition centre-back to follow him and then create space in behind. Of course. But yesterday, Rangnick was brilliant.
Like to follow play.
Yeah. When Maguire followed him, Matic always stepped in and covered him. Fred also dropped deep. And you see, Maguire has, physically, we know he can be dominant. He stuck with Harry Kane, interceptions, hard on him, didn't allow him any space. And that's largely the reason why Tottenham's attack was basically blunt in the entire game. It was because of Maguire's very good work. Okay. And as I tweeted, look, it's just unfortunate that he happened to score the own goal. But another stat that also feeds into what I'm saying is the own goal is Tottenham's third highest scorer this season. Harry Kane has 21 goals. Son has 12 goals. And then own goals is 9. So Tottenham have that ability to force defenders into making mistakes. And you see, that ball across the box, how else did you expect Maguire to be able to deal with it? He had to stretch. He had to make an effort because Romero was behind him. I don't think he would have known if Romero was in an offside position.
But so the problem I have with
he had to try
when the pass was made, he should have taken at least one step before. But go back to the goal, if we can get it there. He just stood there and stretched his big, long legs like that. You don't do that.
So he's not agile enough to have...
That is the problem.
But one step,
is agility.
Taking an extra step before stretching could easily... The ball
could
go
that is
right. But you see, you have to credit his performance. You really have to. Especially, look, to keep Harry Kane quiet... for 90 minutes is no mean.
On Tuesday... Tuesday is a very important day in our lives.
And this is
he needs to put up ×2 of this performance.
Yeah, with these boots, if Maguire puts these boots on,
when don't
you see how long his leg is?
Remove the thing so that look, it is this box thing.
I didn't take notice. He really is. Just look. He really is a big size.
I've been monitoring his feet.
How did you pay attention to that?
You see, I've been trying to find out.
He does have a really long
no, this is not nice.
I've been trying to find out what exactly
this is wrong.
The problem is. What are some of the reasons why he doesn't move that quick?
Then you found out that he's size 50.
How to go?
Really don't do that. That's not.
It's not nice. Oh God.
Oh God.
When I was saying that you were laughing, did you just see what size is that?
I can't breathe.
Calm down. This is not.
You didn't even make size 50.
What size?
Let me read some messages.
Oh
no. Starting on Twitter. This one is from Patience. Akubati, who says, my Sunday with that scorecard is incomplete. I love you guys. Thank you. Papa Gawu, Nathan, Daniel, would you believe?
I thought he was joking. I thought he was playing. It's true.
It's size 50.
It's true. I can't breathe. Oh, my stomach.
Would you behave yourself?
Oh, goodness.
Let me read some messages. Because we still have Arsenal highlights to show you after the break, same as Chelsea as well. So those will come in the last 30 minutes of the show. But let me read some messages first. So I've read Patience's message. She says, my Sunday with that scorecard is incomplete. I love you guys. This one's Mercury says, Coach Nimble and Maguire got some bad blood between them because I can't understand. Papa Gau Nathan says Zakaria was on a Donkomi like the way Chelsea is being Donkomi, and he's quoting Christopher. LK Sancho says between Ten Hag and Pochettino, who is the better choice? Kwame Adumbasta says, hey, Coach Nimble is hyperbolic in his assessment of Maguire's boots. Oh, Rabbi, spare me my ribs tonight. Why?
We just saw him. We just saw him.
He said he should be jailed for saying, no, in fact, Marcus says, Coach Nimble should be jailed for saying Maguire's boot is like a fishing boat. Gambero Roland says, hello, friend. Chelsea's punishment is not fair. I think Chelsea should be stripped of all the titles they've won since Roman Abramovich bought the club. Ask Coach Nimble if he agrees with me, because I know you, dear, you won't agree.
What? They should go and take all the titles. No. They've won it already.
Thank you. Chiman Kratchi says, the passion and emotions Coach Chris uses to discuss issues concerning United and Maguire is exceptional. Sir Tom says, I wonder how my Sunday nights will be without this show. You guys have simply too good. Oxlade says, Coach, his name is Denis Zakaria, very good at Borussia Mönchengladbach. Juve's trapped him when no one was watching, he would have balled at United. I agree with you, Pa. Coach, my team is being don't commit. Okay, that's a message from Steve. CFC De Bruyne is his name.
Is he not aware?
Franzi Sub-Zero says, hi, Fen. We are trying harder. And he's quoting somebody. He said, we are trying harder to climb the ladder. And remember, it's not marathon, but a race. Kotoko, Fabu is clear. I know where he took that particular statement. More messages here. Ochiman Cratchit said, the best TV show, TV sports show is Airborne. And this one says, what is wrong with House of Folk? That's a message from Just Kisif for real. Abdul Wahid Rauf says, good evening, guys. They get the state of pitches of most league centres are so deadly to these players. What is Kes doing about his manifesto on water at the various league centres? It's hard to come to our leaders got serious. And Thompson says, if the Bundesliga has changed its background logo to that of the Ukrainian flag, what about the other leagues? This is Scorecard. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll also show you the Kotoko highlights as well, because we've got that. Plus, Chelsea, Arsenal, we take you to the Bundesliga, the La Liga, and some Serie A. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Let me show you the full results from the Premier League match week 29. So there you go. Brighton lost to Liverpool 2-0. Brentford beat Burnley 2-0. United 3-2 victory against Spurs there. Chelsea won 1-0 against Newcastle. Leeds won 2-1 against Norwich City. That game was full of drama. Norwich equalised in the 92nd minute or 91st minute, only for Leeds to score the win in the 95th minute. Incredible stuff. Frank Lampard and his Everton, fourth successive defeat. They lost at home to Wolves. West Ham, Yarmolenko scored, then cried afterwards, the Ukrainian, in that 2-1 victory against Aston Villa. Southampton, not sure what's going on with them. Salisu didn't have a great game. They lost at home to Watford 2-1. Arsenal beats Leicester 2-0. We'll show you the highlights of that game shortly. And the goals came from Thomas Partey and Lacazette penalty. Partey won the penalty there as well. As I also promised you, we'll show you the Kotoko game. But let me take some messages from WhatsApp this time around. This one says, why score a hat-trick and send your team down the table? No be juju be that. Famous from Kaswa. David from Afanko says, happy my team Chelsea won in spite of all the troubles. Fentio, your head is shining. You are looking great. Thank you very much. This one says, I can't afford to miss Citi TV Scorecard program. Always exciting. I love you guys, especially Daniel and Craze Tahiru. I don't hate you. I only hate your color blue. I am Gar Robert, watching you live from Elubo in the Western region. Thank you. Happy weekend to Cristiano Ronaldo with his hat-trick. Always happy watching you guys from Nigeria. Interesting message. Ronaldo watches Scorecard, so I'm sure he will respond to your greetings. Thank you. Coach,
Definitely.
Yes. He's good friends with Coach. He spoke to him before coming. And he's also Daniel Cranston's uncle. So, good things always happen here on Scorecard. Good evening, Fentio. Hi to Coach Nimley. Please, how many goals has Mohamed Salah scored in this season's EPL? Is it 19 or 20? 20 goals. Good evening. Watching you live from Kaswa. I like your show. Keep it up. Thank you. The all-time goal scorer will increase the tally to 859. CR7, the god of goals. By the way, my team also keep winning big. Hashtag the Blues. So he's a Chelsea fan. Then to tell coach to look for a club to coach. I think he will do well. Please, you have to take Nimley's advice and join the big men. That's from Synconia More with that message. Okay. Do you want the story of Coach Nimley's coaching career?
He said join the big men.
Please, that was the last part of the message.
Coach has been telling you to join the big men. You don't want to join.
The first part
you are doing things that the big men are doing. You don't want to make it official.
The first part of the message was,
if you don't keep quiet,
if you don't keep
the
quiet,
sort of things I will say here, you better continue the show.
You said Coach has already coached the club. And the way things went there,
you are still talking.
He's still talking.
You.
He wants to use blackmail to
join the
you.
don't
He doesn't
blame
want me to tell the story.
You.
But coach,
tell us, let me tell your story. Tell my story. Okay, go ahead and say, I will tell my story. Let's go now.
Who's through?
I'm not.
So say it. There's time.
What I can tell you is that it didn't end well. That's all. But I can't tell the full story. We don't have time. We don't have enough time.
Slippers.
Someone says, I should tell Coach Nimley that half of those problems are not in midfield, but the one to put the balls at the back of the net. We don't have goal pushers. Adam in Kasua with that message.
They keep leaking goals.
Yeah. Good evening to you all. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. By the way, Man United will drop out of the Champions League on Tuesday. Francis in Sawam.
I wish I could watch the game with him.
This one says, so who signed Muntari for Hearts in 2022 has won more trophies in House of Oak than Harry Maguire in Man United, who signed for them in 2019. Interesting comparison. Good evening to you guys. My name is Steven, watching you from Kong. It's always fun watching you guys. Coach Nimley is my man. My name is Derek from Tema. Congrats to Kotoko for winning the GPL, and congrats to Ronaldo for being the all-time goal scorer in football history. Viva Ronaldo. More messages here. Hello, good evening. This is Abednego Hazard in Dowenya. Greetings to Coach Nimley and Crantain. I'm shocked at United fans. They're happy as if they've won a trophy, only because Chelsea is in crisis. They're going to suffer more than we are doing now, and people are not giving respect to Thiago Silva at all. Please, let Coach address that issue for me. Party to party, Chelsea for life. You said like 1,000 things in one message. Thank you for that. Mohammed Sumana says, please, I want to congratulate my darling club, Chelsea, and I need a word of encouragement to my team, Yendi Soccer Heroes, from your crew, as we lost our third consecutive away match in the ongoing Division 2 League in the Northern region. I'm watching you live from Yendi. Coach, he wants us to encourage the team who have lost 3 consecutive games now.
It's simple. They should keep working hard.
Yes.
And believe in whatever they are doing.
The results will come.
Yeah.
Keep Daniel. Say something to Yendi Soccer Heroes.
Keep doing you.
Yes.
The results will come.
Say keep doing you. What you have been doing, the results are not coming. Don't do that one. Change to what you were doing when you were winning. Are you paying the players? All those things very important.
How many second division team pay players in Ghana?
Don't do that. The Yendi Soccer Heroes are different. Don't drag them.
Listen to me. Don't put pressure on them. The players themselves know that at that level, Ghana here, we don't pay.
Oh, some people pay.
They should just keep working hard and believe it will come.
This is your signature for working hard.
He's fit too.
All right. Let me take some more games now before we read more messages. Let me take you to Italy first. Like I promised you, we'll show you Arsenal and Chelsea matches and talk about them. But let me show you Serie A very quickly. AC Milan, they faced Empoli. They beat them by a goal to 0. All right, so Juventus winning against Sampdoria 3-1. And then you also saw Napoli there, or Simheim with the brace. They also won by 2-1. And the game you saw first was AC Milan beating Empoli by a goal to 0. AS Roma also drew their game. They left it very, very late. Pellegrini scored a penalty. Inter Milan just concluded their game as well. Let me just show you the full results from the Serie A this weekend. The graphic, okay, we don't seem to have that. But Inter Milan also drew. They faced Torino. So what the result means is that AC Milan now have a 3-point lead at the top of the table, and Napoli have jumped above Inter Milan into third position. And they are, Inter Milan, in third now, 4 points behind AC Milan. Napoli is in second, 3 points behind AC Milan. Namely,
look, I think Inter Milan, I just don't understand what is happening to them. Because I believe that player for player, quality for quality, they are by far the best team in Italy. But they've lacked that consistency this season. Maybe the exit of Antonio Conte is now being felt. because I have no doubt whatsoever that he would have defended this title without any difficulty. The inability of the board, of the owners of the club to listen to Antonio Conte and then give him what he wants is going to cost them the league title. But on the other hand, I'm very happy. I really do want to see Milan or Napoli win the league, to be honest with you. It's been a while now. The last time Milan won it was when they had Mas Allegri as their coach. Since then, they have not won it. And for Napoli, it's been over 25, 30 years now. Since the days of Diego Armando Maradona, when they won, they have not won the league again. And for I really do want to see them win. At least they've named their stadium now after Maradona. It would be an honor if they can win it in his name and then say goodbye to the legend of the game.
All right, what about La Liga? Well, Real Madrid didn't play today, or this weekend for that matter. They played in the Champions League in midweek. Atletico Madrid are defending champions. The title seem to have slipped away from them, but they're still in the mix, somewhere in there. They took on Cadiz, and they won that game by 2-1, of course. Let's show you the highlights from there. Daniel, starting things off, Joao Felix.
Poor mistake by the goalkeeper trying to play the ball from the back. Joao Felix intercepts nicely, shows good composure and finishes it near post. The shocking thing about Atletico Madrid this season has been their defense. You can't do this. This is
what sort of tackle
Ronaldo, two-footed tackle. And shocking that, this is what shocks me, that the referee rescinded the decision, because a two-footed tackle in the rules is a red card. It was a two-footed tackle. He made contact. It's a red card. I don't see why VAR called him to rescind the decision. And this was a game changer, because he should have been sent off. But I was talking about Atletico Madrid's defense and how disappointing it has been this season. That has been the hallmark. Their solid defense has been the hallmark of Diego Simeone's time at the club. But some way, somehow, this season, they almost always seem to concede goals. And that is something that he needs to fix ASAP. Of course, they are not going to win the league. Even a miracle will not help them win the league. But they are still in the Champions League. And it's something that they will need to address.
It's another two-footed tackle again.
Another one.
Yeah. I mean, the tackles are just flying in.
It's 2 red cards.
Left, right, and center. And Simeone is celebrating wildly, as he so often likes to do. But Barcelona, they were also national a little later today, of course. And they won that game quite comfortably. Namely, you were watching that.
I was watching that game. And at the time of coming to the show, they were 3-0 up after 45 minutes. Look, and the quality of the football. Look, I was telling you that it reminded me of the Pep Guardiola's Barcelona way of doing it. The high pressing, when they lose the ball, the time it takes for them to retrieve the ball. And Dani Alves, that guy, he never gets old.
No, not at all.
Enjoying his football because he simply pass, receive, move, pass and move, pass and move. And then once the ball gets to Dembele, then you can see the tempo. And look, Aubameyang, he's doing something wonderful. Since he's actually gotten into the tactics of Xavi. And as a result of that, don't forget, already he's got that understanding with Dembele from their days at Dortmund. And they've brought the understanding again to Barcelona. It was a fantastic assist. In that first half, Dembele alone assisted 2 of the goals. And Ferran Torres, the one they bought from Man City, he had scored a brace, and Aubameyang had given them a 3-0 lead in for the
They won 4-0.
Yeah,
there you
ended 4-0.
Ricky Peak with the last goal.
Yeah.
Just quickly on Barcelona, I had my concerns and I was afraid because of Xavi's stature and his seeming inexperience. I thought he was walking into a trap, and I remember I said it on this platform. I was afraid that he was walking into a trap. The state of the team when he took over, too many young players, the experienced guys were not on form. But I think, you see, and this is a difference between he and somebody like Frank Lampard. He identified the problem from afar, even before he walked into the team. And you can see that in the January transfer window, he took advantage of it, beefed up the team where they needed to be beefed up, and results have started coming. Good experienced players who address the problems of the team. And Frank Lampard, when everybody saw Everton had defensive problems, he decided to bring in Dele Alli and Van de Beek. And now he's conceding goals for fun, and he'll be relegated. He should go because he's not a serious manager. You cannot be at Premier League level and be behaving like this. It's not acceptable at all.
All right. Let me show you 2 games on the Bundesliga before we return to the Chelsea and Arsenal matches. Borussia Dortmund, they took on Arminia Bielefeld. They won by a 0-0, but Hoffenheim held Bayern Munich to a 1-1 draw. All right, welcome back. So that's the lowdown in Germany. Let me see if I have the full results from the Bundesliga to show you and see how every team fared. But most important thing is, after Bayern Munich dropped points and Dortmund won, they've now closed the gap to, wait for it, 10 points. 60-50, I believe, is the point gap between the two teams. Or is it 50-40? I'm not too sure. But it's a 10-point difference between Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. Let's take you back to England now, as I promised. Sunday kickoff matches at Stamford Bridge in front of a largely sparse crowd. Chelsea secured a 1-0 win against Newcastle, courtesy Kai Havertz. So Chelsea, Kai Havertz, his 6th goal in his last 7 games. He's in the form of his life. They got the very deserved 1-0 win. Newcastle will feel they should have had a penalty. You've seen that incident. We'll talk about it briefly. But let me take you to the Emirates. That's where Arsenal took on Leicester City. They won by 2-0, courtesy of Thomas Partey header. He won the penalty as well for the 2nd goal. All right, so Arsenal got their win. Thomas Partey unplayable in that particular game. I have one more match to show you. Kotoko. They won by 5-0. I promised I will show you the highlights of that game against certain BBN Gold Stars. Enjoy. All right, there it is. Kotoko with the fabulous strike. But the goalkeeper was up to the task. And you see, the interesting thing about this game is this was Michael Osei returning to Kotoko. And these kinds of strikes from footballers is always interesting for me. The checking and then the strike from, look at that. Absolute gift, namely. This, you'll be furious with this.
I will substitute him quick. Because this is a giveaway.
It is a giveaway.
What sort of technique is that?
Oh, goodness me. It's unforgivable. Mfege. So Mfege gets that, and then look at that. Why are they falling over? It's unbelievable.
Beautiful.
Look at the 2nd goal as well. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Set him up quite nicely. That is Mbella to Mfege, you know? Mm-hmm. And brilliant goal. So 2-0, very comfortable in the first half. Second half is back on. Gold Stars forced a save from the Kotoko goalkeeper. And look at Mfege. He's absolutely wet. The Kotoko supporters need to do better. Need to attend more matches. It's in the evening, Sunday night. You have nothing doing. Why are you staying at home? I don't get it. Quick free kick. So here you go from outside the box. Deep, very wicked deflection. Can't blame the goalkeeper for that. But it was a wonderful strike.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, what a celebration. So 3-0 at this point. And then BBN Gold Stars felt they should have had a penalty. It wasn't giving. Kotoko took advantage. Here's the 4th goal. Comes in there, handball, straight up. Mbella steps up. And, of course, he converts that quite easily. There he is. Nicely done. Ever since he missed that penalty against Elmina Sharks, he's changed where he places his penalties. The goalkeeper caught the direction, but nothing he could do about that. That was 4-0, and then the 5th goal was added. Kotoko cruised to victory. Namely, you get quick thoughts on the Chelsea game, and Daniel will get quick thoughts on the Arsenal match, just briefly.
I think the Chelsea game was keenly contested, and for me, it came down to class, and it came down to quality. Chelsea found it very difficult to create any form of decent opportunity, and it had to do with the off-the-ball movement and that one world-class pass. And I listened to Thomas Tuchel, and he described it perfectly, where he said that they were waiting and hoping that pass will locate the right player who has got the quality to control and score. And for me, it was a fabulous touch and take from Kai Havertz.
Brilliant. Daniel, Akuna has delivered.
Yeah, Arsenal
3
are
points.
fourth. They are in pole position to finish in the top 4. Look, it is what it is. When it reaches this stage of the season, you just need to keep winning. And for us now, you have to be impressed with the sort of run they've put together. The thing is, can they continue? Wednesday is a tough one against Liverpool. If they can get that, I'm almost certain that they will finish in the top 4.
Coach, that's our show. You said you had something to show us. That's more like it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's our show for tonight. Coach Christopher Nimley, thank you. Daniel Cranting as well. From you, wherever you tune in as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. Show repeats Monday, 1 p.m. Until next Sunday. You take care of yourself and bye-bye.